president of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Predators recognized that there was going to be more hours online where teens and children were going to be unsupervised, and they were encouraging each other to seize upon that opportunity.
He says they received more than 29 million reports of suspected child sexual exploitation last year, an all-time high. Fire investigators are working to learn what sparked a massive blaze early yesterday at a well-known Christmas tree farm near Granville, northeast of Columbus. Owner Jim Gibson says he'll rebuild Timbuck Farms. Granville Fire Chief Casey Curtis says fires such as that one present an added challenge.
Being without hydrants out here, that's our biggest challenge. We've had plenty of personnel. Once we got a water supply established, that alleviates a little bit of that stress.
Nobody was hurt. The 200-acre farm has been there since the early 50s. Several buildings were destroyed. The Buzzards returned to Hinckley near Cleveland yesterday on cue. Every March 15th, dating back to 1957, the Buzzards are welcomed back to the Hinckley Reservation by the Cleveland Metro Park's official buzzard spotter. The 65th annual Hinckley Buzzard Day celebration continues on Sunday. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy all types of real estate completely as is. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Check out Toyota's wide range of all-wheel and four-wheel drive vehicles, like the brand new Corolla Cross, with available all-wheel drive and more cargo room than ever. Or go off-road in a rugged new 4Runner. Visit your Toyota dealer today, or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Hurry, reserve yours. Offers end April 4th. Toyota, let's go places.
We are compassionate.
We are focused.
We are confident.
We are dependable.
We are resilient.
We are skilled.
We are empathetic.
We are knowledgeable.
We are respectful.
We are here.
For you and your family.
We are close to home. We are
WVU Medicine.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
More live and local programming than anyone else in the Ohio Valley. The Watchdog returns in moments.
Hello, everyone, from the Watchdog. I am the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies with a high near 71. The overnight low of 50 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy for your Thursday with highs in the upper 60s. Have yourself a great day, everyone, from the Watchdog. I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Good morning, old friends.
Hey, what are you doing here? About to go on the air.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is?
Wake up, fairy princesses, wake up!
Guess what day it is?
Get up before I get you up!
Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day.
Woo-hoo!
This is Wednesday. She calls it over the hump day. Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We ain't one at a time in here. They broadcast me out on the radio. We're mass communicating.
Let Wednesday begin.
Hit it!
Conversations you care about with people you know. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe on WKKX and WVLY.
Wow, it's going to be a good day. How do I know? Aaron Myler has exclamation points in his written forecast this morning. Aaron calls it a gorgeous day! Exclamation point. Mostly sunny, a high today, pushing 70. He's calling it 69. I'm calling it pushing 70 degrees. So it is going to be a good day. A gorgeous day! Exclamation point, according to Aaron. 46 at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport right now. 43 here at my home studios, Elm Grove section of Wheeling. 44 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling. In the heart of the Ohio Valley, 7:12, 12 after the hour. Time for the first sip of coffee this morning. Try to get the early morning cough out of my system and try to get a little early morning caffeine in. Hope you're sipping whatever it is that you sip in your morning breakfast drink. What are you drinking this morning, Biffy?
Water.
Just a water kind of day? No, it's going to be a warm day. Maybe you don't need coffee, I guess. Hey, you know what I tried yesterday for the first time? A frozen hot chocolate from Dairy Queen. That was really good. You know, I like these frozen drinks. I mean, I like a frozen cappuccino or something, and I like frozen Cokes, that sort of stuff. So we went through Dairy Queen. The little one insisted. We didn't insist. He just said, Granddad, I'd like to get some Dairy Queen. And then, of course, means Granddad will say, okay. So we went to Dairy Queen and he had an ice cream cone. I thought I'd try it, frozen hot chocolate, which I know it's kind of a contradiction in terms. Frozen hot chocolate. That was good. It was good. In fact, I might switch to hot chocolate maybe later this morning. That might be a good morning drink here as well. We took a little ride yesterday, Teddy and I and Grandma. Got him in the car. And he asked me, he said, Granddad, where does Justin live? One of my sons. Granddad, where does Justin live? And I said, oh, well, he lives in Bridgeport. Bridgeport. No. And is Bridgeport in West Virginia? No, it's Bridgeport, Ohio. We go over the bridge. You know that big bridge that we go over and go over the Ohio River? It's over that way. He goes, oh, Bridgeport, Ohio. Okay, all right. And I said, why don't we go take a ride and see Uncle Justin's house? He's been there, but we'll take a ride and see Uncle Justin's house. And he didn't say anything, so we went over the river into Bridgeport. And then I said to myself, well, you know what? We're on the same road to Kirk's Ice Cream. Maybe I should try some ice cream on a beautiful day. And I said, Teddy, what about ice cream? And he said, well, that's okay, Granddad. So we drove out to Kirk's Ice Cream. They were closed, so we didn't have any ice cream. Then we took a little ride over towards the mall, and my wife and I are going, I wonder where we can get ice cream. Where's a good ice cream place? And Teddy, you want to do this? You want to do that? You want to go there? Finally, he says, Granddad, all I asked was, where does Justin live? I didn't want to go all these places. All I asked was, where does he live? And, we're taking on this ride. I didn't want to go there. I just wanted to know where to. And I thought to myself, I should learn to listen more carefully to what the kid is saying. Anyway, 7:15 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Biffy, the high school basketball tournament started yesterday in the morning, continued into the evening. We had 3 games with some local folks last night, and unfortunately, we didn't come out as well as we would have hoped maybe for the 3 local teams, right?
The worst outcome that we could have had last night in the evening session came true, as all 3 local teams last night got defeated. It started with James Monroe beating Madonna 83-46, and yeah, not a good first half for Madonna. James Monroe outscored him 14-1 in the first quarter, and then 22-9 in the second quarter. So Madonna only scoring 10 points in the first half, not good. And then it was 36-10 at halftime, and James Monroe basically cruised from there. And then in the second game, it was Magnolia and Polka, and Polka beat Magnolia 43-19. Magnolia did not score a point in the third quarter. Polka outscored Magnolia 14-0 in the third quarter, and Magnolia only scored 10 points in the first half. They were only down 8 at halftime, but the third quarter really the difference in that game. So I was afraid that might happen to Magnolia last night, and sure enough, they made me look good there. And then the game I thought
Cameron was in the nightcap. Cameron was in the nightcap, right?
Yeah, Cameron was in the nightcap. This was the game I thought if any of the 3 had a legitimate shot of winning, it would be Cameron. They took on St. Joe's out of Huntington, and Cameron got beat 71-62. Cameron got outscored in the fourth quarter 21-10 was the difference in that game. Cameron, they were actually, they were up, I believe, at halftime. Cameron was up 9 at halftime, and then they were up 2 going into the fourth quarter, and St. Joe's outscoring Cameron 21-10 in the fourth quarter. That was the difference last night in that game, as Cameron unfortunately fell 71-62. So we started yesterday with 5 teams, and just like that, we're down to 2.
Wow, yeah, and the 2 of those were, I don't know, blowout's the right word, but 2 of them weren't really pretty at all.
No, I mean, I knew
Cameron held its own and kept into the fight for a while.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling Magnolia and Polka would get ugly, and it did. And James Monroe, they're actually undefeated in Class A, so I knew Madonna would have a hard time, with them, but certainly didn't expect the outcomes like they happened. But again, I thought if anybody'd have a shot, it would have been Cameron, and unfortunately, a bad fourth quarter turned out to be the difference in that game. So, unfortunately, just wasn't our night here locally last night.
Well, we still have 2 more teams that we have a chance to see how they move ahead. Central is playing this evening. The game will be with us here on the Watchdog.
Yes, they will be the late game tonight. They take on Grafton, and the game before Grafton and Wheeling Central is in AA, Braxton County and St. Mary's. So that'll be the game before Wheeling Central, or Grafton and Wheeling Central. And the game that actually starts the evening session at 5:30 is North Marion and Shady Spring, and that is of importance because the winner of North Marion and Shady Spring will play the winner of Grafton and Wheeling Central on Friday night.
Okay.
So,
what are you looking at Central's odds are? Central's a good team, good shot at this, do you think?
If Wheeling Central doesn't turn the ball over and they make their shots, they'll be fine. But if we see the Central team that kind of struggled a little bit down the stretch, so if we I mean if they're not shooting, if they're not making threes and having guys step up, it's going to be a long night for Wheeling Central. But I mean, they're familiar with Charleston. They know what to expect down there, and it's hard for teams that haven't been down there because the background in the convention coliseum, whatever the heck they're calling it now. But if you're not used to that background to where you have people behind you, it messes with the way that you shoot, because most gyms you see a wall behind you. You don't have people behind you, so it can mess with your shooting. But obviously Central no stranger to Charleston, so hopefully they're hitting their shots tonight, and if they're falling and they limit the turnovers, then they'll be fine. So just depends
hoping
on
for Central to move ahead. Hoping for Central to move ahead tonight, and after tonight, we've got one more shot at a local team moving ahead. Tomorrow morning, kicking off the Thursday schedule, is Wheeling Park.
Yes, Wheeling Park taking on Parkersburg South. That game is 9:30 tomorrow morning, and like you said, that starts the Thursday morning / afternoon session in Charleston.
So Central tonight, Wheeling Park tomorrow morning. We will have a shortened show as we'll turn things over to Metro News for the coverage of the game tomorrow morning, right around 9 o'clock. And then all the semifinal games and the final games will be played here as well. But hopefully we'll have some local teams in them. Maybe not, but hopefully we will. Still have a shot at Central and Wheeling Park moving ahead. We've got it all for you here on the Ohio Valley home of the basketball tournament. We are the Watchdog. Remember, you can listen online, on air, all different ways for you to catch us at 98.1, 97.7 on FM, AM 1600, AM 1370. Easiest way to listen to us. You can also listen by going to watchdognetwork.com and clicking your audio stream for WKKX or WVOY. If you're out and about and you're in your car or you're someplace else and you want to listen while you're out, put TuneIn Radio on your smartphone or on your tablet and listen to us that way. You've got all different kinds of ways to listen to the games tonight and tomorrow as we continue our coverage. And congratulations to the three that took a good shot last night. Just came a little bit short, but nonetheless, even beginning to play, Biffy, is what's better than I've done. Let's put it that way,
And the should mention the start of the day today is Class AAA. It's Herbert Hoover, the 6th seed, taking on Fairmont Senior, the 3 seed. So it'll be Herbert Hoover, Fairmont Senior starting the day, Grafton Wheeling Central ending the day, and 4 other games there in between that. So another full day down in Charleston.
And we will keep you up to speed about it throughout the day on our Metro News updates at 1:30 so you know what the scores are. And again, tonight it's the Central game, among others, and tomorrow morning Park is playing. And we've got it live for you right here, so make a note and be sure to tune in. 7:23 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Welcome to Wednesday, hump day, hump day. What are we doing today? Well, they talk about it every year. Every year this becomes an issue. Well, we discuss it and we think about it, and nobody ever does anything about it. This year, apparently, they're going to do something about it. The U.S. Senate yesterday approved making daylight savings time permanent. I don't like that, but they did. Has to go to the House. Will they concur? If they do, we have changed our clocks for the last time. No, we'll change them again in the fall of this year. We'll change them again in the fall of this year and change them in the spring of next year, and it'll be the fall of next year that we will then continue with permanent daylight savings time. They're giving it an hour to begin, but we are basically, if the House concurs, it's going to be daylight savings time forever and ever. Amen. We're going to take a final look at the legislative session in West Virginia. Our old friend from the Ogden newspaper, Stephen Adams, is coming in to chat about that. And the Ukrainian President Zelensky is addressing Congress this morning at 9 o'clock. Biden is getting some increased pressure to take more action. And one Russian parliament member says, "Would you please give us Alaska back? We want Alaska back." Okay, fine. We've got continuing coverage on the Ukraine from ABC. In fact, that's coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show. We are looking at 46 degrees, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 43 at the home studios, 44 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Oh, okay. Are they done? That's what I thought too, but okay. I think so. Well, whatever. Excuse me. Yeah, if he doesn't, we'll just go with Metro Sports. That's fine. Okay. All right, we'll do a Ukraine coming back status report. Thank you.
To WVMetroNews.com and click on the 2022 WV Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries. The application deadline is April 30th. It's easy to apply. Go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the Apply Now button today. Remember, the application deadline is April 30th.
Jim Frio Promotions presents Spring Beatings April 16th at the Moundsville, West Virginia Penitentiary. Up to 12 fights, with 2 ABF title fights and 10 other local and professional fighters. Tickets range from $25 to $65 and can be purchased at the door or also at Island Gun and Pawn. Sponsored by Karen Bauer Distributing, WKKX, Hillbilly Hauling, and Island Pawn and Gun. Doors open at 4:30, first bell at 5:30. Don't miss the action. We'll see you on April 16th.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Check out Toyota's wide range of all-wheel and four-wheel drive vehicles, like the brand new Corolla Cross with available all-wheel drive and more cargo room than ever. Or go off-road in a rugged new 4Runner. Visit your Toyota dealer today or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Hurry, reserve yours. Offers end April 4th. Toyota, let's go places.
If you need local news, you trust WTRF TV. And you will find TV7 News all day. Right here on The Watchdog. AM 1600 and 1370. FM 98.1 and FM 97.7. WKKX and WVLY.
Miss a part of the show? Want to hear a segment again? Check out our podcast page at watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
7:28 in the morning on the Watchdog Morning Show, 46 at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. As we move on to our coverage of the Ukraine, you know, people ask all the time, we've talked quite a good bit on this show with our Pentagon correspondent Tom Squitieri and others. What is Putin really after? I mean, why is he invading Ukraine? What does he really want? And I think that most of us, as we've talked about it, have decided that in his mind, he wants to reassemble the old USSR. He has talked about wanting to get back all of the old Russian territory that they used to have. That's kind of what this is all about. It's kind of about going back in history and creating and getting the territory they used to have. With that in mind, keep in mind that part of the United States used to be Russian. Now, we weren't part of the USSR. It happened long before that. But remember, and certainly if you look at the map, and you remember even Sarah Palin back then talking about how she'd be a good vice president on foreign affairs because Alaska is so close to the Soviet Union, just across the Bering Strait. Remember Sarah Palin basically saying, I can see Russia from my porch. So Alaska is close to Russia, and it once upon a time was part of Russia. We bought it from Russia. Now, I haven't heard Putin say he wants it back, but another Russian lawmaker this week made a demand that the United States should return Alaska to Russia. Also, should pay reparations to Russia over the sanctions that we're putting into effect that are causing Moscow's economic tailspin. Oleg Matvechichev, a member of the State Duma, the parliament in Russia, outlined on Russian state television a set of demands for the United States and for the Ukraine. And the demands do include the return of Alaska. Now, we purchased that from the Russian Empire back in 1867 as part of the Alaska Purchase. And she also wants us to give back a Russian settlement in Fort Ross, California, down around San Francisco, which we also had bought. So Putin wants to reassemble the Soviet Union. This lady apparently wants to get all the old Russian territory in the world back, so she's eyeing up Russia. I would have one thing to say about that. Yikes. 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 The strikes continued on Kyiv yesterday. President Zelensky is going to address Congress this morning around 9 o'clock. It should be interesting. We kind of know a bit about what he is going to ask for, which is going to be more help, more support, probably more prayers. He'll be giving it as a virtual speech today before Congress. He's not coming here, but he's been making the virtual rounds of a number of NATO countries. Today he talks to the joint session of Congress. ABC has more on that and the latest coming out of the Ukraine right now.
In just hours, Ukrainian President Zelensky expected to address Congress via video link. Zelensky will likely ask for a no-fly zone and more support for the air war.
The Biden administration facing more pressure to support Poland's plan to send fighter jets to Ukraine. Top Republicans have signed a letter to the Defense and State Departments saying, we encourage the departments to reevaluate the flawed conclusion that the transfer of these fighter jets to Ukraine would be escalatory.
ABC's Faith Abube in Washington. President Biden plans to follow Zelensky's address with a speech announcing $800 million in new aid for Ukraine. A group of European leaders showed their support for Ukraine by taking a risky ride, traveling by train to Kyiv Tuesday to meet face-to-face with Zelensky. And the humanitarian crisis reaching a new milestone, with the number of Ukrainian refugees now well over 3 million. Nearly two-thirds have fled to neighboring Poland, and the number of refugees could double in the coming days. Dave Packer, ABC News.
More on the Ukrainian crisis coming up. In our next report next hour, I want to talk a bit about how can we help the Ukraine. I gave you some suggestions last week, or a couple of days ago, I guess, and I'll give you some more today. Ways that we as individuals can help the Ukraine, short of packing up our gear and heading over that way. So I have some ideas for you coming up a little bit later on. Daylight savings time apparently is going to be permanent. We're going to talk about that coming up in the next half hour of the show. We'll also take a look at the latest sports information from Millie DeFabio. And here at 7:33, 27 till the hour, we will start things off with a check of Ohio Valley headlines from the Big Seven.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at WTRF, My Ohio Valley, and ABC Ohio Valley. Only on AM 1600 WKKX. The Watchdog.
Good Wednesday morning, Ohio Valley. I'm Stephanie Grinley with your 7 News headlines for March 16th. Serenity Hills in Ohio County is now closed by the state of West Virginia. That's according to CEO Sharon Travis. The more than 30 women who lived at Serenity Hills were sent to other facilities Friday afternoon. Sources say Serenity Hills closed because of administrative issues. The Quick Response Team and Life Team remain active thanks to a grant, but the residency, funded through the state, is shut down. Travis says it is unfortunate for the women who needed the help healing. Continuing coverage on the truck that crashed into a Weirton bank Sunday night. The truck hit offices in the back of the building, closing the United Bank location on Main Street for the past 2 days. Bank officials say they are going to be back open for business today. Panhandle and Graycon are handling the restoration of the building. The crash was due to a drunk driver. Police have since charged Christopher Tomaselli with a second offense DUI and other charges. Nationally, the Senate has passed a bill that would end the nationwide mask mandate on public transportation. They approved the measure Tuesday in a 57-40 vote, with 8 Democrats joining Republicans to pass the resolution. Utah Senator Mitt Romney was the only GOP senator to oppose the measure that would end masks on planes, trains, and more, and now heads to the White House, where it is unclear whether House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will allow the vote. That was a look at your headlines. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.
In Nashville, the Predators defeated the visiting Pittsburgh Penguins by the score of 4-1. Let's hear from Pittsburgh head coach Mike Sullivan.
We didn't end up on the right side of the score, but I think if we bring that effort, we bring that commitment, we're going to win a lot of games.
Jake the Snake Getzel scored the Penguins' only goal of the game.
I think we kind of knew that it was going to be a playoff mentality game. I mean, the building's rocking, and it's a fun place to play. You know, they play hard, and they play in your face all night, so I think we knew it was going to come.
Next up for Pittsburgh, they visit the Blues in St. Louis Thursday night. On March 29th, the Penguins will host the New York Rangers. That night, the Penguins will honor the retired quarterback of the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger. Another former Chicago Bear will be joining the Pittsburgh Steelers. O-lineman James Daniels is a Steeler. 3 years, $26.5 million deal. And cornerback Levi Wallace, not a bad CB. He's leaving the Buffalo Bills. He signed a 2-year deal worth $8 million to play for the Black and Gold. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
I'm not buying till I check on 4.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
I'm not buying till I check on 4.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah! You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go. 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure. I mean, you being a mountain climber and all,
Yep.
you probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Every weeknight at 6 p.m., join the voice of the Mountaineers, Tony Caridi, on The Watchdog. Tony informs and entertains WVU fans with the latest Mountaineer sports news. If it happens in the world of gold and blue, Tony knows about it and shares it with you. Sportsline, weeknights at 6 on The Watchdog. If you missed us the first time, keep going. You'll find us just down the dial. AM 1600 and 1370, FM 98.1 and 97.7. We are The Watchdog.
Live and local for the Ohio Valley. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Starbucks is starting a new policy. It's, to me, very weird, very strange, and I don't think it's going to work. But what do I know? I'm not a barista nor a coffee shop owner. I'll share it with you coming up a little bit later on in this half hour of the program. 7:42, 18 to the hour on the Watchdog Morning Show for our Wednesday edition of the Big Gig. Well, I know that Aaron Myler is excited about his forecast. How do I know that? He used exclamation points today in his written forecast. It is, according to Aaron, a gorgeous day.
Normally?
Exclamation point. A gorgeous day.
Sometimes I find myself putting so many exclamation points like on my tweets and whatnot that I'm like, oh my gosh, like this kid seems like he's not like done something crazy and he's like really just living it up.
It's the first thing I noticed when I looked at the written forecast this morning. A gorgeous day! Exclamation point. And I said to myself, Aaron's happy. He's happy this morning.
Oh, I am.
It is. It looks like it does look like a gorgeous, a little cool this morning so far, but it looks like it is going to be a really great day today.
Oh, it's going to be. I mean, we are a few degrees off from your perfect to 72, but we're not that far off. Like, I mean, 69 for the high. Stephanie was earlier kept saying she kept ruining all my teases, and she's like, 70 degrees, Aaron. Let's send it over to you. And I was like, well, now I have nothing to say. But
well, you just told him all of my weather. So back to you, Steph. You fill the time now.
The director, the producer, everybody will be like, what's he doing? But yeah, it's going to be, pretty much 70 degrees, though, for the high. Sunny all day long. So, I mean, there's not really much to complain about. I mean, like, the sun's just starting to rise outside, and, like, there's nothing in the sky. It's just going to be a really pretty day. I was telling Biff a second ago, I was like, I ended up accidentally going on a 7.5-mile walk yesterday. Well, total 7.5 miles. So I was just walking, and then I got inside, and I got bored from watching TV because I was just like, it's so nice outside. So I went back outside, and then I forgot to turn around. So eventually I figured out to turn around.
Do you ever find yourself, look, everybody knows I don't really take walks, but I always think about this. Do you ever find yourself just having a walk, enjoying a walk, going, oh, this is great, and then suddenly you go, oh, I still have to go back now.
Yeah,
it's been great. This 7-mile walk has been great, but I got 7 miles back. Do you ever find yourself doing that?
All the time. I think when I go, like I live on right along the trail on Main Street. So when I go that way, I'm if I go the one way towards Heritage Court, I'm fine because I know exactly where to turn around to get myself to 3 miles. It's if I go the other direction that it's problematic, where I go towards Warwood, because then I just like there's not enough unique things like on my other way. I go past the yacht club, then I go past the bridges, and then I go past the Heritage Court, so I know where to stop. But the other way, I just forget that I'm walking. And I'm like, oh shoot, I see McDonald's, and I'm like, I should probably turn around.
It's a long way back now.
Hey, Aaron, if you ever hit the McDonald's in Warwood, walk a couple more streets and you'll probably run into me. You'll be good.
Yeah, if all else fails, go to Biff's house.
Yeah, just
not too far out.
Yeah, just come on down, and we'll take you back or whatever, so you don't gotta walk.
It was a pretty good day yesterday, though, too. When we got done with my grandson, picking him up and brought him home from school. We stayed outside for a while, just played in the front yard. He swung on a swing, and I sat on the glider, and we have some games we play. And it was such a pleasant, spring-like day yesterday.
Oh yeah, I mean it's that's why I was on a long walk. It was just a really nice day. We luckily have another even sunnier and better day coming today.
And you're right. I'm with Stephanie. You've got 69 on here. To me, that's always near 70 today. That's the way I always phrase it. If we're getting 69, I'm calling it near 70.
Yeah, I was like, my problem is, I think I've told you this before. Sometimes when it's like when you go to a store and it says $6.99 and not $7. It just feels less in the middle if I say 69 and not 70.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
As lame as that
That's
is,
true.
it feels like I'm not committing as much.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it also makes you feel so like if tomorrow's not going up, it's going down a tiny bit. But it's like if you could, it saves you a little room for tomorrow. If you call it 69 today, maybe it could be 70 tomorrow. It's a little headroom there, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
We're going to drop a little bit tomorrow, though. Not a lot, just a little bit tomorrow for a predicted high, right?
Yeah, it's like a tiny bit tomorrow. I mean, even with that, it's like 66, 69, 67. Like what? It's not going to feel that different. So the main thing you'll notice tomorrow is that it won't be as sunny as it's going to be today. So I mean, still warm, but not quite as sunny. Friday, we're going to have some clouds, some sun in the day, and then we're going to have some rain coming that evening. But it looks like the main rain is going to be more so for Saturday morning, and then even after that on Saturday, you'll still probably see some showers. But it's looking like the main stuff's going to be in the morning. Some things are trying to say it'll carry over a little bit in the Sunday morning. I'm not convinced about that just yet because we're a little bit too far out, but that is a possibility. And then, I mean, even the first day of spring on Sunday, I mean, not looking too bad in the mid-50s. Some more sunshine coming out for Sunday, Monday. So, I mean, we're going to have some rain, but even like the rain, like a couple stray showers, and I really mean like a stray sprinkle, like kind of how we had yesterday. Most people probably don't even know that we got like a sprinkle yesterday unless you like sell your car. Probably the same kind of story tomorrow morning. Nothing to really bother your day at all. And then, the main, like even Friday, it's like it won't be coming until later. So it's not like it's going to be a rainy day. I just like sometimes when I put those words on the 7 day, it makes it look like the whole day is going to be rainy. And I'm like, like it's really not going to be that story.
I appreciate, and I mean this sincerely, I appreciate that you think long and hard about how people will look at your 7 day. We've talked about it before. If the high is going to be at 3:00 in the morning, do you really put that high on your forecast? Because does that help anybody, plan their day? Or if you say a stray shower, does that are people going to get all upset and think, oh my God, I got to get my Brelly out there? You work hard to try and make the 7 day visuals understandable. So if people take a quick look, they can see. For example, I can look at your 7 day forecast right now, and I can see today it's just going to be a great day. You got 69 and a beautiful sun. And I can also see that probably worst day of the week is going to be Friday, or Saturday, which is our lowest temperature at 55, and it looks a little rainy. I mean, you can take a quick look at the forecast and get a quick sense of what it's all about.
Yeah, so I've learned from just school back in the day. They taught us that like the one thing out of our whole weathercast that anybody cares about is the 7 day. So I always try to make that real. I spend like the first chunk of my shift doing that more than anything else because I'm just like, well, besides forecasting, obviously, but I'm always just like, this is the one thing everybody actually cares about. I got to try to get it like as clear as it can possibly be.
Well, I of course never have been a meteorologist or a weather person, but I have overseen weather people as a manager, and my request of all weather people was give the listener or the viewer a forecast that they can easily understand. There are some weather forecasters, let's be honest about it, Aaron, that get such a kick out of isobars and histopars and, high level pressure, jet stream. Look, tell me what's the temperature going to be? What's the sky condition going to be? And is it going to rain? And then later on, if you want to tell me how we got there with all the other stuff, that's fine. But, what's today going to be like? That to me is the important thing. The mark of a weather person is when you give me the forecast, I walk away going, okay, I've got a pretty good idea of what's coming up. That's the mark of a good weather person.
Well, thank you. That's what I strive for. I had a news director at my internship back in the day in Youngstown. They said, or maybe it wasn't the news director, I don't know, somebody there was like, you don't even need to say cold front half the time because it's just people don't care. Nobody cares. It's like my sister is saying she bought a new car, I think last month or maybe in January. And she said the guy just happened to be complaining about the weather and meteorology that day. And she was like, well, I mean, just to be fair, she's like, funny enough, she's like, my brother is a meteorologist. And the guy's like, he's like, I know they can always be wrong. But he's like, I just want to know if it's going to rain or not and what the temperature's going to be so I know how to dress. He's like, they're always talking about the sun or all these other random things. He's like, I don't care. And I was like, okay, I can dress. So whatever I dress out over, do I put partly cloudy or the broken, this symbol has two clouds? I'm like, nobody cares. It's going to be a little mix of both.
And again, there are weather junkies out there who like to hear all the details later. But first of all, tell me it's going to be 70 and sunny with no chance of rain. I got it. That's all I need to know. Now, somebody else wants to hear more about how that happens, or that's fine. But to me, 70 sunny, no chance of rain. Okay, I got it.
Well, that's where you watch
I know how to dress. I know how to plan for my day.
Exactly. If you want all the rest of the details, you just have to watch the full all the stuff that comes before the last 30 seconds where the 7 day is, because that's where all the other stuff is. It says everything else.
And also be watching, if you read the forecast on WTRF.com, look for exclamation points, because that's always a clue. A gorgeous day.
I am excited about it. I already texted my friend. We're watching.
Aaron, I'm excited about it too. I'm excited for a gorgeous day with an exclamation point. Could have put 2 on there as far as I'm concerned. All right, my friend. Appreciate the forecast. Appreciate your work. Appreciate your conversation. Thanks a lot, and we shall do it again tomorrow for a Thursday.
Talk to you then. Have a good one, you guys.
Aaron Myler from the Big 7, WTRF TV. It is 7 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Hey, we were talking about the tournament basketball in West Virginia earlier. And again, tonight, Wheeling Central, tomorrow, Wheeling Park here on our station. 3 local teams last night, unfortunately, all of whom ran out of gas during their games. But we'll continue coverage of the tournaments for you. And it's also March Madness, where many of you, of course, are playing brackets. Start your bracket with a bang. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook is giving new customers a $150 instant bonus. It's guaranteed. That's right. $150 in bonus site credit. And all you have to do to get it is just place your first bet of $5 or more. How you bet the bracket is up to you. You can choose from the money line or the totals or the prop bets or all the different options you have available on FanDuel. Plus, with what they call cash out, the ball's in your court. You can close out your bet whenever you want to before the game is over. All of these great options available only on FanDuel, but you have to be on FanDuel. If you have not yet downloaded the app, do so now. Use my name, Monroe, in the promo code box. That way they will know that we sent you here from the Watchdog Morning Show. Download FanDuel, or if you have FanDuel, just use it right away. Place your $5 bet to score $150 guaranteed in bonus site credit using Monroe as the promo code. As always, I need to remind you, You have to be 21 or older, physically present in West Virginia. The first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit is required. Bonus is issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. As always, if gambling is fun for you, you're ready to roll with FanDuel. But if gambling is a problem for you, you should call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. 5 to go till the top of the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Next hour, the Capitol Report. Still, Jeff Jenkins, our team from Charleston on that. And we'll probably take what will be our final look this week at the legislative session with our friend Stephen Adams. We had Brad McElwain do his review, recap, and analysis of the session earlier this week. Stephen's coming in next hour to offer his thoughts on the session in general, and in particular the final weekend and how some of it was kind of wild and woolly and crazy that weekend. So Stephen's coming up a little bit later on this morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show. The legislative watchdogs, of course, are in at 9. Biff, do I have to do any more commercial breaks?
We are good until 8.
It was a bit unexpected yesterday. A couple of, I guess last week, 2 weeks ago, we did a segment on daylight savings time. There was a hearing in the House on whether or not on what daylight savings time is all about, what value daylight savings time brings, what problems daylight savings time causes, and some thoughts about whether or not daylight savings time should be abolished forever and just stay on regular time, or always stay on daylight time, or just keep on doing time changes twice a year. There was a big hearing on that in Congress last week. Every year the issue comes up. Multiple states always talk about changing daylight savings time or making it permanent or whatever. Up on Capitol Hill, they talk about it as well. And it's one of those stories that every year I bring it up and we talk about it. And I always begin by saying, they talk about it every year, but don't do anything about it. Holy crap, looks like this year they're going to do something about it. Yesterday, quite out of the blue, I'm sitting around, all of a sudden, boom, on my phone comes the headline, the U.S. Senate has made daylight savings time permanent. How? Where did that come from? U.S. senators from both parties spoke in support of what's called the Sunshine Protection Act. Oh, God help us, the Sunshine Protection Act. It was a bipartisan bill that they say will be good for public health and the economy and reduce energy use. Democratic Senator Ed Markey of Massachusetts, one of the co-sponsors of the bill, said, no more switching clocks, no more daylight hours to spend outside after school and after work, and more smiles. That's what we get with permanent daylight savings time, more light at night. A number of states have already begun to standardize daylight savings time at the state level. Now the Senate has approved it. It goes to the House. If it passes there, it would need President Biden's signature to become law, and it takes effect in November 2023, November of next year. So that would mean, I guess, Biff, we would go back to regular time in, let's see, this is spring, right? We would go back to regular time in November of this year. We would spring forward again in a year from now, and then a year from November, we would just stay on daylight savings time forever and ever. Amen. I personally, I don't like it. I don't think we need I say let God's time be the time, and I don't like making daylight savings time permanent. Plus, in preparing for this story this morning, I was reviewing some of the tidbits of information that I gave you gave you last week that came out during the congressional hearing. The American Heart Association says there's an almost 25% increase in heart attacks and strokes around daylight savings time. I got enough heart problems. I don't need any more. Oh well, daylight savings time could be permanent. Just one more vote to go. That'll be in the House. I'm thinking it'll probably pass. Hey, it's 8 o'clock, Watchdog Morning Show. ABC covers the world. Capitol Report, Stephen Adams, and more. Coming up next hour, right here.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling. FM 97.7, AM 1370, WVLY Moundsville.
From ABC News.
Biff, do we have a capital report? I assume we do, right? Okay, good. We'll do that. We'll do Stephen. In the second half hour, I'll do another Ukraine report, and I'll do this Starbucks story. I sent you a little 60-second clip from Mandy Patinkin, the coffee in a cardboard cup. When I'm ready to do that, I'll kind of give you a little cue, and you can use that as sort of an intro to the Starbucks story. Okay. And that should take us up to the dogs, and then I'll have breakfast.